Welcome to Continental! And today, spawning in the northeast corner of the map in orange, we've got 3DB playing as the Abbasid dynasty. And his opponent today in the southwest, playing in blue, we've got 3D Anotand playing as the Mongols. Welcome everyone to this Age of Empires forecasted game on what is an interesting map for Age of Empires 4. We don't see it all that often. You can see the eagle arrow already being placed by the Khan. Now, the thing about Continental is that the guys are very close to each other. To make no mistake about it, it's not far at all between the two bases. But also, the water around the map makes it a very dynamic situation. Like, you can actually get the fishing economy nice and running quite quickly, especially for the Abbasid dynasty, obviously getting the cheaper docks. But it means that you're fighting on two fronts necessarily, and it can be tricky. There are relics on the corners of the map, 2 on each corner. So it can be strong in the castle age if you can get the water superiority. But now the Mongols versus the Abbasid dynasty, you're kind of expecting a lot of early aggression, which you kind of typically expect to be dictated by the Mongols. You've got the outpost rush coming in very shortly. I'm sure about that. I mean, you got to do it really. Like on a map like Continental, you have to. And he's going to get that barracks up and running pretty soon there, Anotand. And well, the trouble for 3DB on this map is that wood's an issue. Like, he's got this wood line here that's forward. That's obviously going to be towered and be absolutely bamboozled. But having said that, I mean, the Abbasid dynasty do get spearmen in the Dark Age. It's always a potential. He has invested a lot of wood, obviously, into the fishing economy. But if he can scout this out, in fact, we're going to have a quick look at where 3DB's scout is. Like, does he scout the outpost rush? I mean, the thing is about going against the Mongols, you kind of expect it anyway. It's just more about it's more of a confirmation, right? Like, you're going to expect the spearmen. You kind of have to. But it is just so much more about confirmation. He does see that, I think, as long as he was looking at the screen. I mean, he'll definitely see the barracks now anyway. And he sees the spearmen pop out. So he's going to be expecting a spearman opening with the outpost, of course, potential coming his way. So we should be expecting 3DB to drop a barracks, and he does just that. Now, the thing is that the production speed for the Mongols is super strong, obviously double producing with the Uvu. It makes it a bit tough, even with the barracks opening here for the Abbasid dynasty. And it's an issue because he's obviously going for water as well, so it's really tough on the economy. Like, he needs food for aging up, but he needs food for spearmen, and he has to pay full cost for every single spearman that he gets. The Mongols, on the other hand, they get one for free from the Ovu, essentially. Not each time, but every so often. And you can see, obviously, B is completely outnumbered, so he's going to have at least crazy micro to make this work, and to stop the outpost going up. He's going to have full commitment here, I think. It's tricky because as the game does wear on, if B can just deny this for a little while, just delay it really, then he should be able to scale the economy quite well and pump out more units. Because he does have the fishing economy, right? So this is really strong for the food economy coming in. That'll fund the spearmen. I mean, dare I say he might even open up with a second barracks because he needs to find a way to deny this. Like, he can't afford to lose this wood line. I mean, if B loses this wood line, it's pretty much game over. Unless he goes to another wood line, which is always a bit more risky. Obviously, the Mongols can just send their spearmen there, right? And it could be an option. It depends whether really B wants to defend this initial wood line, or whether he wants to try and mass up as much spearmen as possible. You know, let the Mongols spend their wood on this outpost and go elsewhere, but yeah, B doesn't want to let that happen. He's going to bring out the villagers. Does he have textiles? He doesn't just yet. The outpost does get deleted, means that he doesn't lose that wood. Although, did he? No, I didn't actually lose the wood. But anyway, he does have a lot of spearmen here. The Mongols player, Anotand. It is going to be a second barracks, as we kind of expected could be the case. He just wants to keep up on spearman production, right? Oh, he snipes one there. Really nice play by B to snipe that spearman on the retreat. Now, it's actually 6 spearmen versus 6 spearmen. This is great for B in terms of keeping up, but it does mean that he's behind on economy. Taking a look at the top, you can just see that food counter rising a little bit better there for Anotand. Despite that fishing economy, it's just that, you know, the bank of resources that B will have just going to be significantly less because you have to pay for every single spearman unit. The Khan just getting involved, annoying the units quite significantly. And the outpost might just go up here. But he needs to be careful. No, he's going to rush that down with the villagers. He doesn't want that outpost going up. Going to get the torches off. He does get one torch, so even if the deletion comes in from Anotand, he won't get the full price back of that outpost, but he'll get most of it, to be fair. Peeling away the weak villagers. Does he have textiles now? He doesn't yet have textiles. B. He's fighting on the front lines with the spearmen. Decent number of spearmen, though. His micro well keeps the scout alive for now on low HP, but I don't think he wins this. B's going to run out of villagers. Run out of spearmen, rather. He's going to have to rely on villagers to push this back, you feel. And that's a great fight by Anotand. Scout gets a couple of hits in. microing this as much as he possibly can. Oh, hang on a minute. I think the reinforcements coming in nicely for the Abbasid dynasty. Obviously that defender's advantage has really helped out. And he does lose another spearman. This is great micro by B to make this count, but gets a little bit too close for comfort to that town centre. But he does lose that villager, I think, in all that fight. He didn't manage to get the outpost up, and that's great news there for B. Keeps the wood line alive for now, keeps it running. Doesn't really have the spearman numbers again that he wants. He might just commit with villagers, because he does need to deny that outpost. There is a villager coming out, 2 of them in fact. Anotand wants that outpost for sure. If he does get it up, that would be a problem. Villager's going to get around and surround. I'm not sure if the outpost goes up or not. It does go up, but it won't be enough to stay alive because those villagers committing here for B. He wants to take that down and fast. 5 units are garrisoned inside the outpost, so he will lose villagers here, B, for certain, especially with the Khan poking and prodding with his arrows. He's lost a lot. Spearmen pop out. They're going to fight. He just fight. Well, I mean, B doesn't have textiles. This is absolutely huge, but the thing is, don't forget, is B did have the fishing economy, right? So it loses another villager. 7 villagers have been taken, but B has fishing. Absolute crazy opening to this match on Continental. You'd love to see it. Picks off another spearman on the retreat there, the Khan. Now, B does... He's an age behind. Like, Anotand just got to the feudal age with deer stones, and he's going to be able to transition into archery range units just to pry... He's just going to pile a lot more pressure, right? The concern for B is he's had to invest a lot of food into units. Like, he spent so much... Oh, the Khan went down there. That was a bit unfortunate there. But, you know, Anotand didn't have to spend as much food on those spearmen in the end because of the Uvu. But having said that, the fishing economy does mean he shouldn't be too far behind. But the real problem for B at this point is that even when he does get the resources to tech up to the next stage, he doesn't even have a House of Wisdom. He needs that for the age up. There it is there. Going to be built soon. It's almost 7.5 minutes, guys. Holy smokes, it's still in the Dark Age. Crazy opening to this game. Well, I was going to take this opportunity to say that if you guys have been enjoying the Castle Games and the content on the channel recently, then do feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm and whatnot. And I've been enjoying Age of Empires 4. I think we've seen some great games, especially with the Empire Wars format coming out as well. I've casted quite a few of those. The new biome, the spooky biome, I've enjoyed casting those. And there's a lot more to come on this channel for sure. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving. It's actually been phenomenal recently. So I'm very grateful for that. He's going to pick off a villager that was coming forward for another outpost there. And the archer's going to focus on the spearman. I think the spearman just charged this down. But B needs to buy some time, right? He needs to get to the next stage. Archer's trying to focus on the spearman as best they can for Anotand to cause as much problems as possible. B is still struggling. Like, he's gone for a second dock. And he's playing this a little bit greedy, but it's working. I mean, he's got 31 economy. And as long as he can push the archers back, he's just going to commit with spearmen. Charge it down. Just brute force his way. I mean, I think Anotand, what's he doing at the back of this? He doesn't actually have much of an economy, like in terms of on water at least. Although, I mean, fishing transition could be quite nice for him. He did dish out a lot of damage, but I have to say, like, after all that mayhem, I'm tempted to say that B turned out on top, right? Like, even though he's still in the Dark Age, like, he's not going to be there forever, obviously. And once he does get to the next stage, well, he's going to have such a strong economy. Archers harassing on the woodline. He's going to relocate that woodline on the west side. I think he needs to drop an outpost here, B. Doesn't quite have the wood for it, though. Couple of archers being chased down by the spearmen. Kind of crazy to think that, right? The spearmen actually being, like, winning the fights against the archers. They are losing a lot of life, though. A lot of HP. Oh, looks like Anotand was going to go for a dock here. Now, this actually does take out the wood of his economy. He'd want to delete that if he can. Oh, no, he's going to commit to it. Holy moly, okay. Well, that's ballsy, isn't it? Right next door. Just setting up shop. The archers aren't necessarily getting the value that Anotand wanted. Just didn't have the mass of them. That's certainly one way to get to the fishing transition. Just take your enemy's fish. But the thing is that the main thing to consider is Anotand is in the feudal age, right? So B can't stop this. Like, we have to stop the dock. He can't stop it on water. This is quite a nice play by Anotand. I like this. He just needs a bit more wood, though. He's going to need wood to be able to afford anything. Obviously, it's quite heavy on wood, this cost of the Dow, or the light junk, I should say. 150 wood, there it is now. I was going to get one of those out. He should be able to do a decent amount of damage. The thing is that B is so far away from that feudal age. There's no way to speed it up as the Abbasid dynasty. He just has to wait. That's a full minute as well. 2 Mangadai for the Mongols. Gets a good rating on that wood line. Does force that outpost in the end. But a good 8 villagers have been killed, but B is still super ahead on economy. It's kind of crazy to think that that's the case. It comes out with the light junk. Quite a few fishing ships just heating up. Now B's micro needs to be on point to keep these alive if he can. But to be fair, he's got multiple docks, right? So he shouldn't really lose anything. You know what? I don't think this is going to work for Anotand. Just purely because he's got 2 docks. He shouldn't even lose a single fishing ship. And he can't really take out the docks. He's only got 1 dock himself. And when B gets to that feudal age, I mean, he's just going to be able to outproduce, right? I mean, he will... I mean, look at the economy. This is what we talked about. Like, how his economy is going to look so strong when he gets to the next stage. Does lose a couple of villages on gold, though. And he'll be able to produce from both docks military ships. So this dock won't survive much longer there for Anotand. But at least he's harassing a little bit. He's denying that... Yeah, okay, fine. He does get a fishing ship in the end. Bit of an oversight there for B, but... Yeah, he's harassing a little bit, keeping a bit of the economy idle. I think overall probably worth it for Anotand, but doesn't actually necessarily do critical damage with it. But, you know, it is what it is. Good micro just peeling away. Attracting the spearmen to this weakened archer. The 2 archers just firing on them as well. Not a lot happening elsewhere. Does have the light junk still firing off. Does have a couple of military ships himself. A Dow, and he's going to get a Dow, 2 Dows basically. Queued up. And that'll take care of this. Oh, it does lose a fishing ship again. Bit of an oversight there. Had eyes on other places. Trying to outpost this west side wood line again. Now, Anotand trying with the outpost rushing. Now, if this does go up, it'll be problems for B, because he'll struggle for this wood again. He does have a wood line potentially on the sort of southeast. But he won't want to relocate unnecessarily, of course. Mangadai getting good value. Yeah, just focusing on villages on the wood line now. He has killed a lot of villagers here, Anotand. 13. Keeping that economy under control for B, despite having that water. No water economy, though, for Anotand. I think the outpost goes up. I think in this scenario, though, B just needs to relocate these villagers, right? I mean, if he has textiles, it could be an option to... I think the archer numbers now is too strong. He can't really torch this down with villagers. He has to back off. He uses the eagle arrow for the vision, and he backs off now without losing a single villager there by B. Nice done. Nicely done. He's going to head down south now, I think, I suspect. Wait, hang on a minute. There's a little sneaky sheep there. Bit of a spy. Will that give the position away, though? That's the thing. It's kind of funny to think about. A couple of horsemen need to back away. I mean, does that give Anotand vision? I don't think it does, right? No, I think it's actually really minimal. I don't think he sees that. Not that he has to see it, to be honest, because there's no other woodline to go to. Like, this outpost is so strong, it takes out this woodline as well. And forces B down south. There's the sheep. Yeah, I mean, he might see that with the sheep, actually. Yeah, he does actually see that. That's actually kind of funny, because he built the outpost right next to the sheep. I think it's like, the vision is like 1 tile or something from the sheep. So if he decided to put the outpost a little bit further away, wouldn't have spotted it. Not that it matters anyway, because I think it's pretty obvious that he's here on the woodline. Does have 2 outposts, though, and the Mangadai won't get too much value, I don't think. Well, no, he picks off a villager, actually, in the end. Helped with the archers. And this is bad for B. Just doesn't have enough space in the outposts. Just had to commit too many villagers to this woodline. He's only got 1 woodline, of course. This could be terrible. He's going to lose a lot of villagers. He's got no way out of this. B doesn't have the military. He does have a couple of horsemen coming up from the west side. But he's going to lose so much, and he's just playing ring around the roses around the forest. He has to do back off. I think the archers should be able to handle these horsemen. Just about. There's only 3 of them. And some of them are pretty low health. He does take them out. He might lose the Khan, though. No, he survives with the Khan. He will take down that last horseman, but he probably loses a lot of the archers in the process. But great value. 17 villages have been taken care of. That dock has been taken care of now for B as well. And outpost still standing on the westward wall there. It's just, yeah, it's kind of harassment. This is would have been a nice place to continue taking wood, but it is what it is. He secured this side. That's the main thing there for B. And he does get wood safely. He's going to go for a blacksmith for some upgrades. Behind this, I think really it would be nice to see. Yeah, there we are. There's that fishing transition for Anotand, because he can't just continue to try and rely on dishing out damage, which he has done a lot of, by the way. It's killed 17 villagers. That's incredibly huge numbers of villagers being killed. It's going to get 2 docks on the west side here. Or the north, I should say, really. Going to pressurize the fishing economy. Now, Anotand is not in a bad position, actually. He's dished out a lot of damage. There's a lot of greed there by B. It has been punished quite significantly. And Anotand's kind of neck and neck in terms of villager. Well, at least economy count. He's a little bit ahead, if anything. A bit behind on military, though. And, well, B's going to spot out the dock. And I suspect he's going to send his military ships right around, right? He's got to. There they are, going across the map. Trouble for Anotand. I mean, this is such a great timing on the scouting for B. Like, if you delayed this any further, let Anotand get onto the waters significantly, it would really change the kind of direction of the game. He spots it in the north as well. Fishing economy harassed the Dow. And this is where B is now just going to double down on water, you feel. Yeah, a couple of fishing ships coming out. There is a bagler there on the north. And it's looking a bit dicey for Anotand. Been pushed off water, more or less. These guys just waiting to pounce. Continues to produce units, but he's behind on units, Anotand. And that's the big deal. Especially when you consider that B is looking to be very aggressive with those horsemen. Has a couple of archers as well to take care of any spearmen that might be there, but there aren't really. And the thing is, Anotand's gone to full archers. He does have 2 archery rangers, and I think B could just go for these horsemen. He should be fine. He's got the food economy for it. It's going to be getting extended lines as well, just to boost up that fishing economy. In fact, this is such a strong economy boost. Increases the gathering rate of fishing ships by plus 20%, and the carry capacity by 10. It's going to dive on this wood line. There is an outpost, villages as well, a couple of archers. But with the iron undermesh upgrade there for B, these guys will tank a lot, and the archers there for that back line for B, dishing out damage as well. And this is going to be good value for B. He will lose the army, but he's going to get a couple more villages, you feel. There they are. Has to back off now. Does lose the horseman. Keeps the archers alive, though. I like that play to keep the archers alive. If he gets boot camp, well, he's already got boot camp. So there'll be an extra 15% HP on these archers. Help them trade really well. Might just try and snap the Khan if he can. Fishing economy back online. Now B could just move these dhows there to harass that. We'll see if he does that anytime soon. Archer numbers starting to build up for B. Looking pretty menacing. And like the fishing economy's been alive for a long time. Now Anotand did a good job of denying it for a while, dishing out damage, but it just hasn't been enough. The economy looking really strong for B. 1,000 food per minute. When you compare that to Anotand's 150 food per minute, yeah, it's not looking good for Anotand, I have to say. He's losing the water on the west side as well. Anotand never really comfortably got on water. That's really hurting him here. There's the Dow. 3 of them. Going to take out even more fishing economy. I think Anotand is going to struggle. There's the army for B, harassing the production buildings. Any units that come out of Anotand, they're going to be immediately harassed by these archers with boot camp, with a couple of horsemen there as well, just fighting underneath the town center. Doesn't really care at this point. A lot of the economy very much idled for Anotand. Yeah, it's off water there in the south. Off water there pretty much there on the northwest. There's no way back on water, I think, for Anotand. He's going to have to rely primarily on land, but there's no pastures. Food income looking absolutely terrible. Has to rely on wood units. Only archers really at this point. That's all he can afford here. It's looking dicey for Anotand. Might just take a fight here. This could be the big fight that decides the game. We shall see. Doesn't see what is happening there beyond this fight. In the fog of war. The horsemen do dive in underneath the town centre, but, well, he's going to back off for now. B just wants to bide his time. Maybe just build up a bit more of a lead on the army. Does have 52 military units. Looking great for him at this point. Economy looking safe and secure on water and on the wood line there. Going to try and move out on the west side with the Uvu and the Gur moving out. But B's onto this. He spots it. And he's going to be aggressive. He's going to deny the production coming out of that. He might engage this actually, B. He does take out the Khan. The signal comes out just in time. The horsemen going to dive on the archers. The trouble is there's just too many horsemen. The archers going to try and micro their hearts out. But with this number of horsemen, they're going to tank the front line with the boot camp archers on the back line for the Abbasid dynasty. He's going to fight underneath the outpost, but I don't think B cares. He might lose a lot of the horsemen though, to be fair, from the archers and the arrow fire from the 2 outposts out of there. But the archers there for B, going to take out a lot of the archers on the back line. He does head home, because it does a lot of fighting actually. Holy smokes, there's a lot of arrows coming from those outposts. He does back off for now. B can't necessarily take the fight just yet. He's saving up. It did cause a lot of damage. Pushes Anotand off of wood momentarily, creating a lot of idle time. He does have double the army, but it's not all here. I think a lot of it's on water. He fights outside of those outpost range now, and the horsemen are going to dive in a little bit. Anotand trying to take effective trades, but the horsemen tanking so much. And he's starting to whittle down those numbers. Those archers aren't looking in good shape there for the Mongols. Reinforcements coming in, though, does have defender's advantage. But on the back of this, well, B has full water economy. Have a couple of archers there on the gold, and that's enough to make Anotand tap out on Continental. A great game to start off today. Huge amounts of aggression with the outpost rushing on the woodline, but it just wasn't enough for the Mongols. Hope you guys enjoyed the casted game. Take care, and see you next time.